Welcome to Tiger Talk, your source for information about your hometown and surrounding area. Tiger Talk is brought to you by
Tiger Talk this morning brought to you by Whistle Stop Donuts, Strain Beans Coffee House on Lower Main, Hancock's Neighborhood Market, Commerce Street in Katie's, delicious homemade goodness, and Perry's Floors and more.
Make the morning great with a stop at Whistle Stop Donuts on West Main Street in Princeton. Whistle Stop makes their donuts fresh daily, and they're ready on your way to work or school. They have a wide variety of fresh donuts, so you can surprise the office with a dozen delicious donuts. Stop by Whistle Stop today and enjoy a donut or a dozen. They're open 5 a.m. to noon, Monday through Saturday. Whistle Stop Donuts on West Main in Princeton.
All right, and good Monday morning at 8:07, and welcome to Tiger Talk this morning. Have the pleasure of welcoming into the WPKY studios for Tiger Talk, Mike Cherry of Capitol Cinemas. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Ty, and everybody else listening out there. So happy to be with you today.
It's Mike back at the mic.
Mike at the mic, going all the way back to 1958.
The old that's not very nice.
That's right.
WPKY
AM
alum.
only.
Alum. Mike at the mic. So, pleasure to have you here today. And the good old radio guy that you are. Let's talk. You are a theater man now, and let's talk Capitol Cinemas.
Well, first of all, I want to say that the lead person is the theater woman.
That's right.
Which is Heidi Boyd,
yes.
and Heidi pretty much gives me these.
You're the public affairs man for the Capitol Cinemas.
I'm the face or the voice or whatever it is, and of course was involved back in the late 1990s when we actually brought the theater into town, and that's almost a story in itself. I
wanted to talk about that. Go ahead and elaborate on that just a little bit. When you came,
a quick background. You know, when I came home, when Gail and I returned home from the military, I mean, I was young enough to be fodder for a lot of things, and became quickly the chairman of the Princeton Tourism Agency, and we did a little survey and what needed to be done, and something needed to be done with that deteriorating building on Main Street. I mean, it was a white elephant. What are you going to do with it?
It was a skateboard park.
It was a skateboard park. There was skateboard activity in Cinema One where it slants down. But that was one of, and we came up with various things, going to make a community auditorium out of it, and then the Butler alumni group came along and did the job with the Butler Auditorium. So that kind of took care of that. For a while, tried to get the churches to go together and make it a walking space. Things just didn't work out until a young man by the name of Mark McSperrin, who owned a couple of independent theaters up in southern Illinois, was on his way to Florida and came off the Parkway and just drove through the town of Princeton, saw the theater sitting there, saw the Chamber of Commerce office, goes into the Chamber of Commerce office and says, "Hey, who can I talk to about your old theater up here?" And they said, "Well, Mike Cherry as chairman of the tourism agency," because we'd gotten a little publicity. Anyway, he called me up, and the rest is history. He had the expertise to put it together, and we got funding through the bank, and
the Capitol,
in 1986.
Valuable, nice.
Not 86, 96.
Yeah, it's it's rich in tradition, and we're fortunate. We're one of the few towns left that has an independent hometown theater.
Well, let me put it this way. We're the smallest county because, of course, a theater, just like a radio station, knows no limits in terms of, this is the city limits. We don't go any further than that. We're the smallest county in the state by far that has an operating first-run theater. And it's might as well say it. It's an absolute struggle to keep it going, to keep it in the black with a population base that we have. It almost requires everybody that goes to movies to come by and see us, and everybody who says to me or Heidi, "We're so glad you've got that open," to come every now and then. Yep. And the attendance is slowly dropping. I can remember Mark McSparrow telling me that, or when we first opened, he said, "This is going to be your biggest crowds ever." You know, that first few months, first year, and of course he was true. That normal tendency is exacerbated by, I'm going to get my acronyms confused here, but Hulu and YouTube and streaming,
all the streaming services,
60-inch televisions, and people are just not going like they used to. And you can make, a lot of organizations can make that same claim. Definitely. That the electronic world and the information age is killing things like the theater. So I gently say to people listening, if you don't start coming a little more, it'll be more difficult.
Well, we've got 21 years here since the '96, so let's just keep it rolling, and we encourage everybody to come out and let's talk about the Capitol and the uniqueness of the visit. You still have the old doors, you still have the neat lights. And it's a good experience. It's a clean theater. You're modern, but you just went digital several years ago, and you still get the first run movies.
Yes, and it's interesting about going digital. And again, I thank the community. Heidi and I are beholden to you for chipping in and making it possible for us to go digital. Because if we hadn't gone digital, we would have already closed the doors.
That's right.
But I thought it would make a difference in attendance, but it hasn't made a bit of difference. You know, I thought, well, when we get digital, we got a sound upgrade. Used to have a little, used to occasionally have a fuzzy picture, occasionally have sound issues.
Film,
or
cut or whatever.
Brain wrap, we'd call it. There was a little mechanism that fed and it would jam up every now and then. So
don't have that with digital.
No, certainly not as much. I mean, right now we're having an issue with one of our cinemas, Cinema 2, where one of the speakers went bad. So Heidi got in touch with the tech support folks, and we're having a tech support guy come in today or first thing in the morning to fix the sound system in Cinema 2. And I'm telling you, something like that's a killer.
Yeah, and there's always something potentially.
These guys, these out-of-town tech reps that come, and you got to have them because the equipment's so sophisticated. I mean, they don't work for minimum wage.
Right. No. But yeah, a great holiday lineup. You've got
let's
first
talk
run
about
things.
that somewhere.
Let's take a String Beans coffee break and get our heads together. We'll come back and talk about this great lineup.
Where's the coffee?
I'm going to get you. While we take this break, we'll just I'll fix you up with a cup of coffee. We're going to take a String Beans coffee break, and we'll be back talking with Mike Cherry. Capitol Cinemas got a great holiday lineup and all kinds of first-run good movies. The holiday season is coming up, and we'll tell you more about the lineup, the fabulous lineup at the Capitol, coming up on Tiger Talk at 8:14. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a moment.
String Beans Coffee House in downtown Princeton specializes in made-to-order espresso drinks. Stop by Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to noon and enjoy a pick-me-up. You can also enjoy fresh-baked scones, homemade chocolate chip and oatmeal raisin cookies, and espresso brownies that'll keep you going all day long. They're also open on Saturday from 9 to 2. String Beans Coffee House on Lower Main in Princeton. Great coffee and more in a great atmosphere on Lower Main in downtown Princeton.
And at 8:15, we are back on Tiger Talk. Mike Cherry, Capitol Cinemas, and let's talk about the upcoming movies at the Capitol. And folks, with your downtown, doing your shopping, staying home, shopping local, eating in the local restaurants, why don't you stop by the Capitol and enjoy a good film at your local theater?
At least walk by and see what's showing. It's like we've got right now showing Thank You for Your Service. It's by the same folks who made American Sniper, which was a great hit, and everybody that saw it loved it. this movie, Thank You for Your Service, is getting good press. And yesterday was Veterans Day, for goodness sakes, and we had literally nobody show up for Thank You for Your Service. I mean, I think for the entire day, Veterans Day, maybe 10 people. And I had expected, because we're such a patriotic part of the world, and if everybody that had said to me, who knew I spent 27 years active duty in the Navy, who have said thank you for your service to me personally, if they'd come see the movie, we'd had a blockbuster on our hands. Anyway, Thank You for Your Service is showing right now. Daddy's Home 2 with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg is showing right now. And another example that I hate to throw up there, about 3 years ago, there was Daddy Home 1, and it was a humongous hit for it. Its opening weekend for us a couple of years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, it was, we did about $2,500 business on the opening weekend. With Daddy's Home 2, we did $900. So I mean, $900. We like that, and if we did that on all our movies every weekend, we'd be fine. But in comparison to the same draw of the same movie, essentially the same movie a couple of years ago, it was down. And of course, the number one movie in the entire universe is Thor Ragnarok.
I love that name.
Yeah. I saw the movie, and my wife, Gail, by the way, says it's the best movie she's seen in a couple of years.
Gail liked it.
She loved it. She laughed. I mean, it's not a serious. It's not what you might expect.
Yeah.
Of a serious.
It's getting great. Great reviews as well as far as action, fun, and a good time at the movies.
But anyway, and that's
not seen it myself.
That's what's showing right now. Back to Thank You for Your Service for a moment. I had somebody come by yesterday and say, I didn't know you were showing that. I would have come. Can't now. I said, it's I don't know what to do because we're on radio, we're on 4 area newspapers, we're on Facebook. We have, for the last 21 years, had a 24-hour answering service, that 365-7900 number. We're posted right there on Main Street, and this person drives by that location at least twice a day. And but to say I didn't know you were showing it, I don't know how else to get the word out. But anyway, we are talking about holiday movies. That's what we've got going right now. Now this coming Thursday, there's another superhero movie called Justice League that comes.
That's going to be hot.
Supposed to have been bigger than Thor. I don't see how it can be bigger than Thor because Thor's done so long. But the prognosticators would have told you that it was expected to be bigger. But Justice League, that's the one with Batman, and they say that Wonder Woman has pretty much got the lead in this one because her standalone movie did so well. Justice League, and we'll have a sneak preview of it this coming Thursday at 7 o'clock, and then it opens regularly on Friday. We'll be getting rid of Thank You for Your Service, and next week's schedule will be Daddy's Home, Thor Ragnarok, which happen to be the number 1 and number 2 movies in the nation, so we're not doing bad in that regard.
That's a big deal. You got them.
Yeah, I mean, that's good.
A big deal.
That's as good as you're going to do.
Yeah.
And then that comes this Thursday evening, Justice League, and it shows the following week. Then on November the 22nd, we'll be getting Coco. That's the Walt Disney's kids movie, and you see it all over television being advertised. Walt Disney has not made a bum or a bomb kids movie since, as far as I know, since I've been alive. And this one is expected to do strong. Then we're going to follow up with a couple of movies that just opened that I hope the people will wait and see it with us rather than going out of town, and that's Murder on Orient Express, which is one I can't wait to see.
That's a remake, but it looks the ads look really good.
And we will definitely be showing that in a couple of weeks, and that will be followed by another movie that just came out called Wonder. We've actually got the middle school lined up to come and see this because there's a story behind this movie. It's a PG movie. It's what I would almost call a serious kids movie that certainly is
What's the premise
fitted
behind
for
it? I don't think I've seen the ads for Wonder.
Well, they'll be coming, but you see them every now and then. It's it's a young person, a young a child, not a child. I think it's like the 6th grade, 7th grade, that has a disease that's caused disfiguration of his face.
Okay.
And it goes from him being shunned and left out of school and occasionally made fun of, hurt emotionally, and it goes from that to, for some reason, he turns things around and becomes a local,
Mr. Popular.
Yeah, a local
wonderful.
hero. Julia Roberts starred. I read where she, and of course, Julia Roberts hasn't made a bad movie in many years that I know of. She wanted to star in it because she has a child that has similar, not as bad as the Kid in Wonder, but she sought out starring in that movie, and so she plays the mother.
And when will that'll be later on this year? Before the end of the
yes. As it stands right now, that looks like either right around the first of the month.
Okay.
I mean, we're looking at 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, December is upon us.
December's
I mean, it'll be here
here.
before we know it. Yeah.
Murder on the Orient Express we'll have the first of the month. We'll have Wonder, and there's a movie called The Star that's coming out. It's coming out the same time as Coco from Disney, and with 3 screens, I can't get them both. I can't have 2. Well, I couldn't if I wanted to because of the requirements. Like Thor requires 3 weeks, Justice League requires 3 weeks. I'd like to play 2 weeks normally and get rid of a movie, but they won't let me on these great.
And that's runs from the companies.
Yes,
from the industry says you have to do this.
I have a choice. I could not get Thor, but that's.
And you got another one coming up here later on that's going to require some.
Well,
time
you're
too.
Talking about Star Wars, of course. They're talking about 4 weeks now.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, I don't have to. Heidi, we don't have a choice but to get that movie. I don't care how long they make us have it.
The last one that came through, I went to see it here 4 times.
Yeah, I remember that.
Just because I
miss,
I want to see, and I'm a big geek, and I love that, love those series. So anyway.
Well, you're not so big. The geek part, I mean, I'm not going to argue about. But anyway, The Star, I'm going to wait till a little bit closer to Christmas to bring that in because we can't really be in at the same time as Coco. They're
and
both
that's from
filming.
the animals' perspective.
Yes, it looks like it's going to be a wonderful Christmas movie.
Yeah.
It's animated, and it's based on the animals that were in the loft when Jesus was born, and it's a kids' movie, but it's certainly a serious subject that I would think my religious community will show
awesome.
up. I would hope to have some Sunday school classes, some young Sunday school classes.
Yes. Even old Sunday school classes. It's good to see that kind of stuff.
And then we get on up to Christmas, and I may need some help pronouncing this. Jumanji. Did I say that right?
I think that sounds right.
Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle with The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
He is, I don't know, well, he's very popular now.
He is.
He's a strong draw.
Strong draw.
And we still got movies out there over the holidays that I'd be interested in getting in, but I don't know. But we can't really. We have to postpone them. I mean, there's
a lot to juggle around there, isn't there? With all
Pitch
these
Perfect 3, Ferdinand, which is a cartoon, will run the first of the year. Sooner or later, we'll get that in. The Greatest Showman looks really good. Hugh Jackman, but it's a musical. Musicals don't do too well around here or in communities of our size. I mean, you need to have a much bigger population base to draw people to a musical. But, of course, Les Mis starring I mean, that was one of the greatest movie experiences I've had in a while. Love the movie and would go see it tomorrow. That's that. I want to also make sure point out that we will have, as we always do, a free kids movie late Saturday morning. Doors will open 10, movie at 10:30. Saturday morning before Christmas, and we will have that, and it'll be sponsored by First Southern Bank, and our movie will be How the Grinch Stole Christmas. That's a favorite. People have seen it,
Classic.
but see it on the big screen. Bring
Can you be a big
bring
kid
the
and come
kids.
too?
Huh?
Can you be a big kid and come too?
Kids of all
All ages,
ages
yeah, that's what I like.
are invited.
That's the Jim Carrey Grinch.
Yes,
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 yeah.
that's the Jim.
I love
Jim
that,
Carrey,
yeah.
Jim Carrey, and that'll be the Saturday before Christmas.
I was
I
the-
guess that's the 23rd. Christmas Eve is Sunday, I
Let me
think.
get the old calendar out here. Let's just
But don't get an old one out. You need a new
No,
one.
Get the
you know.
current. Let's get the current calendar
That's
out here.
well said.
The 23rd is the Saturday before
Uh-huh.
Christmas. Yes,
And Sunday is Christmas Day. I mean Christmas Eve, and Monday's
correct.
Christmas Day.
That is
I
correct.
like Christmas falling on the weekend like that. It
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean it works out. It works
Yeah.
out nice for
Yeah.
the movies. I
and,
would think.
yeah, works out.
And for the holidays, and of course,
And we'll be open early once school lets out.
yeah, that's what I was going to. Let's
We'll
talk
be-
about your holiday
yeah,
kinda
we'll-
hours.
We'll
You'll
be
do
opening.
You'll run matinees during the week, some. Is that what you?
Yes,
do?
yes,
yeah.
yes.
You'll have your matinees.
Yeah,
during
there'll
the
be a
week.
couple of weeks there. The basically the last week of the last week and a half of December and the first half week, I guess, of January. But that period
While school's out.
while school's
Yeah.
out, we'll be throwing in an afternoon matinee,
And your matinee prices, of course,
Well,
are.
$5.50 and $4.50. I mean,
Come on. I mean that's
You
a
see-
heck of a deal on a movie.
you see sometimes people advertising, Tuesday a $5 movie. Well, that's nice. We don't really get into that, but if you go Saturday, that price is doubled, and our prices stay the same on weekends, for example.
Well, I've been
you
to
know.
a movie out of town, and I tell you, you better break out your wallet. That's just all there is to it. It's by the time you get in there and get a ticket and get something to munch on,
You
which,
got to
you
have
can't go to the
something to
theater,
munch
something
on.
to munch on.
No.
I mean you
And we're proud of our popcorn. It's amazing.
It's good
you
popcorn.
know, we've got the little plastic buckets. If you come in and buy one of those plastic buckets and go see a movie or not go see a movie, you can come by and get a refill for about half price.
yeah,
and
but
we have a lot of people that stop by on their way to whatever on Main Street, pull over in that no parking area for a few minutes, and get a refill or buy our popcorn. So we do a and not big, but we do an interesting little
popcorn business.
popcorn business there in the center.
Well, and I love seeing people, and I've had the tubs that they'll bring every time they come to the movie. They bring
Sure.
their popcorn tub.
Yeah, yeah.
And you maybe need to do the Capitol Cinemas. We're proud of our popcorn.
Well, it's not a bad idea.
But it is good popcorn. But the thing about the Capitol is it's hometown, it's local, the prices are good, the atmosphere is good. You can see a quality first run movie with quality equipment that is running it. Visit your hometown theater, give them the business, give them the support, because we all are in this together. And they work hard. You and Heidi and all, you work very hard. I see on a weekly basis how hard you all work to get these first-run movies in here, the scheduling aspect of it. And it's work. I mean, you're dealing with industry that is pretty competitive and hard to get a lot of these movies.
Sure,
and
sure.
It's hard
well,
work.
and it's interesting. People will say, "When are you going to get so and so?" And normally I say, "Well, as soon as we can." But sometimes there's some off movies that somebody will want a particular movie that's absolutely bombed at the box office, didn't open strong, and but we're feast or famine right now. We're in the feast business because the big movies are coming out, and there's more movies than we've got screen time for. But you get outside of the periods like Thanksgiving, Christmas, 4th of July, and you get into the down months, so to speak. And we have trouble getting the movies because the companies don't make as big a prints. They don't make as many prints. So if something like Daddy's Home had come out in August, I might not be able to get a copy of it because they're not going to make as many prints, and we aren't big enough to get the business unless the companies are really going wide. Quick example, is there's lots of examples, but the companies, Hollywood, the production companies, the MGMs and
Right.
the Paramount, they base their rent, what we pay them, is based on a percentage of the gate, and of course, Star Wars is probably going to be 70%, unheard of almost. But we'd
I heard
rather
at least 65.
well, we'd rather have 30% of something than 50% of nothing.
I get you.
You know, so we gotta pay that. But anyway, that's what the company is, and everything's so computerized now. These people I call, Lionsgate or whatever, they'll sit there at the computer while I'm talking to them, punch up Capitol Cinemas, Princeton, Kentucky, and say,
Look at your gate.
yeah, look at our gate, and more often than not say your gate's too small. We don't have enough prints to get to you. So that it's a vicious cycle. Our gate's small sometimes because we can't get the movies quick enough, and we can't get the movies quick enough because our gate's small.
Almost a catch-22.
But I can remember so well when we first opened the deal with the community. It was in the papers and the radio. The deal, we're going to open. Now, it's going to be a couple of weeks before we get these movies. You know, you're gonna have to wait a couple of weeks because we're not going to be able to get them normally. And of course, the response from the community, or at least individuals, well, who cares? You're going to get the movie. I found out real quickly who cares, and that's everybody. Because if we don't get a movie on a break, unfortunately, the road to Paducah, I think, gets a little hot with movie people going. I'll go see it somewhere else. Princeton doesn't have it. If you'll wait on us, we normally get all the major movies sooner or later. And let me I know we're getting out of time.
No,
but
we got time.
I'm
going to ask another question.
To the listeners, remember our 24-hour show info number, 365-7900. That's on everything that we put out somewhere. And you can call that anytime, day or night, and get the latest on what we're showing. And, of course, we have a web page. And the way I do it, I'm not a computer person. The way I do it is I just punch up Google and voice Google Capitol Cinemas, Princeton, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Now I don't go it by movie or anything else. I go Capitol Cinemas, Princeton, Kentucky, and up comes our web page. And of course, you've got us daily on a spot here at the radio station. We're
rotate quite a bit.
We're in the newspapers. I mean, the Princeton Leader. The front page of the second session every Saturday. But so if you want to know what's going on with the movies, it's easy to find out.
It is. And one of our loyal listeners just texted me and said, what about gift certificate for tickets for Christmas? And that's a perfect idea.
Oh, very good.
That's Marty Pressler, by the way. She's helping us out here, helping me as an interviewer. Yeah. So,
thank you, Marty.
Yeah.
Let me. We do that every year.
That's right.
And it's a good business for us. And they are discount ticket books. They go on sale Thanksgiving. We'll put them on sale the day after Thanksgiving. I mean, we always have done that. And those sales help immensely us getting at least closer to breaking even for the year. And they go on sale at the theater. And as I say, they're discounted. They're ticket books of 10. They are less than you would pay if you pay at the door. And one way, if you're a person who, I just don't go to movies, but yet want to help us out a little bit, stop by and buy a couple of ticket books. Great stocking stuffers.
I was just going to say, what a perfect stocking stuffer.
Yeah,
that
I mean, it's something that you know is going to be used, and there is, as long as the theater's here, or at least as long as the present ownership is here, I think I can say that those tickets are going to be good for years and years. And we, every now and then I usually come by and sell tickets on the weekend. And I'll get a pass that you can just look at it. That thing's
been around for a while.
That's been in the billfold for 15 years. But
I saw something on Facebook where Druthers Restaurant, the last Druthers up in Campbellsville, somebody presented them with a coupon it was 36 years old for a $99 chicken dinner, and they took it.
Okay, well.
So that's kind of the same concept, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
Well, we can't thank you enough, you and Gail.
And Heidi, don't forget.
Yeah, but I was talking about the beginning of it, and then Heidi has taken this thing and worked diligently to provide us a wonderful theater. She works very hard, and you've got a great staff down there, always friendly. They take care of you when you're going through the line there. And you have plenty of time when you go in through the tickets, as long as there's just not a humongous line, to get your snacks and head on into the theaters.
And let me say one more thing, kind of in that regard, to people who pay attention to what's going on down there. There's lots of things that we need to do. I mean, lots of things we need to do: painting, fix the marquee roof, a lot of things. And folks, we don't have the money to do that. I mean, it's if attendance picks up and we start making, start start making a little more money, there's something laid aside. I'm speaking for Heidi, really, but I suspect that we'll jump right on fixing things that need to be fixed. But you only can do so much, and our main goal is comfort in the temperature and having a good picture and good sound.
Right.
And we get around to other areas as funding permits.
As you can do it. I totally understand that concept, and a lot of other folks out there do as well, I'm sure. But again, thank you. We have a wonderful hometown theater, and we want to encourage everybody to visit the Capitol any chance you get. If you have to wait for the first run movie, it's worth the wait. Stay home, enjoy some great concessions here, and enjoy a good movie in comfort. Whether it's cold outside, it's warm inside, and vice versa during the summer times. But they do a whole lot. The free movies. You don't see too many home. We got a partnership where a bunch of businesses come together, and we have a willing theater to put together free movies for our kids. It's a hometown spirit, and we want to encourage everyone to enjoy the holiday season at home, locally, at our Capitol Cinemas.
Shop Princeton, which includes go to the movies in Princeton.
Eat at our restaurants, shop local, stay home, and watch a great holiday movie. Mike, a couple before I let you go.
Yeah.
I really love you do a fantastic job on your ads here. And of
Thank
course,
you.
If you want to keep up with what's playing and times, you can do that. Of course, you got 365-7900. But before I let you know, I can't decide whether I like the way you say Captain Underpants or My Little Pony. I can't decide which one of those are my favorite.
Well, I don't know.
So I think it's Captain Underpants. That's the way you say it.
The best one was when I had Lawrence Martin starring in a movie.
that was probably
It was supposed to be It was supposed to be
Martin Lawrence.
Martin Lawrence, the comedian, and I had some calls on Lawrence Martin starring in a movie. Ragnarok was pretty tough the first time around too.
Ragnarok's pretty tough, but you all do a fantastic job out down there. We can't thank you enough. And it's 365-7900. You can just pick up your phone and call. The movie times and show times are on that. You can listen to the radio. You can check out the Times Leader because the ad's in there. And they do a fantastic job of updating and let everybody know. And then just drive by.
Yeah.
When you're stopped at the light and move your head
that's
over
right.
to the right and take a look because the times are out there on a little board, and you got the cool posters right out front as well. So thank you, sir, very much. I hope you have a wonderful holiday movie season, and we'll see you down at the Capitol.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, sir.
And good luck. We're so happy, so many of us, including myself, can't speak for everybody, but everybody that I know is so happy to have WPKY back on the air, and the product you people are putting out, it just seems to get better all the time.
It's a work in progress, and we thank you very much, but we're glad to be doing it, and can't thank you enough as well. At 8:38, that is going to wrap up this Monday edition of Tiger Talk here on your hometown radio station, WPKY, The Tiger, and we encourage you to stay home, see a great movie this holiday season at our Capitol Cinemas, downtown Princeton, 365-7900. That's the movie info line, and check them out on Google at Capitol Cinemas. Right? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
.net.
CapitolCinemas.net. And like Mike says, just go to your Google and say, Google Capitol Cinemas, Princeton, Kentucky, and it'll pull it up.
Yeah.
So thank you all very much. Have a great Monday. We appreciate Mike Cherry being here to give us some information about the holiday lineup and at Capitol Cinemas in downtown Princeton. Have a good day, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Hancock's Neighborhood Market on Commerce Street in Cadiz is the place to shop for delicious